Now, let's talk about surnames. When you listen to how our forefathers presented surnames, surname sounds like it's all about the names of our forefathers. But the truth of the matter, you will realize that surnames begins in the first century when the Romans started implementing what we call tax. So because they wanted to be able to trace people, surname came in. If I am to ask you, go and read your Bible and tell me what is the surname of Abraham, what is the surname of Jacob, what is the surname of Jeremiah, what is the surname of Isaiah, what is the surname of Moses, you will not find those things because surnames were not there until the first century. But here is what happened in the first century. You look at the story of Jesus, he's called Jesus of Nazareth, which means in Nazareth there were so many Jesus such that for them to separate which Jesus they are talking about, or for us to know which Jesus we are talking about, they had to use the place of where a person come from. Jesus of Nazareth. Even if you can look at Afrikaans surname, John van Wyk, John of Wyk, that's how surnames started. There are 4 elements or more than 5 elements that talks about surnames, but I will talk about the few. We have Jesus of, so Jesus' surname now becomes his place where he was born. So never think that your surname, some of our surnames does not originate from, it originates as a name. It starts as a name of where we come from. Number 2, they would use numbers. Queen John the First, Queen John the Second, Queen John the Third. Numbers were used as surnames. We knew that, okay, this is this lineage come from this king. Number 3, they use the landmarks. Let's say you are staying in the hill. They will call you Sipho Hill because I'm staying next to the hill. Or they use profession. If you are a weapon maker, they will call you Smith. Smith was a surname, became a surname. If you are a fisherman, there are still surnames like fisherman, James Fisherman, because their profession has to be what was fishing. And also, when it comes to profession, farmer, John Farmer. Profession started to become surnames. Surnames are not only about the names of our forefathers. Do not be fooled. But when it comes to, again, surname, they started using now if I am the son of John, they will say John's son. John's son. White people started using that. John's son, and it sounds like Johnson, but it's John's son, Tom's son, and they say Thompson. You see, Jack's son, it becomes Jackson. So not all surnames were formed by the names of our forefathers. Some surnames were landmarks, profession, place where you were born, they became surname. But when they present it to us, if I am to ask you, beside totems, you look at some surnames, they are the names of the animals. The names of the animals. Some are nicknames. For an example, if you had killed an elephant and they want to know that Mr. Jake, which Mr. Jake are we talking about here? To make things easy, because you have killed an elephant and everyone knows, they will say Jake's elephant. Jake's elephant. So an elephant now becomes what we call a nickname, which later became a surname. If you killed a lion, they would use that. So some surnames started by nicknames, or simply because on that area there was some elephant. It's like Mapungube. Mapunguzwe is because they were jackals. It's the land of jackals, you know. So some surnames, it's not. That's why when I look at surnames, you will find animals. Besides totems, you will realize that there is a certain art like Baloyi. Baloyi, it's one of the rich surname. They have so many surname in there, but it sum up around the name Muloji. Which means the beauty of the mountain, because when they fight, they were mountainous people. When they fight, they will climb the mountain, they will stay in the mountain. You look at the vendors, you look at Bulobedu, because those are Baloji. They love staying in the mountains. So when they fight, when the enemy comes, they will roll the stones from the top of the mountain to attack the enemies. Because of that, they were called the Mburiantaba in my language, which is associated with what? A baboon. Because a baboon stays on top of the mountain. And you look at surname ya Baloyi today, Kalanga. It's associated with a baboon. A baboon became like an animal that is said to be fighting from the mountain. So surnames are not only about our forefathers. The surname you are proud of today, if you can do a research where it comes from, you might realize that surname are not necessarily the names of our forefathers. Surnames can be debated again. You know, surnames can be debated. What do I mean when I say surnames can be debated? We're not sure that we're using the right surnames. Because some of our forefathers, they came from Malawi, Kenya, they came to South Africa long ago. And what happened is they found people who were so gracious, who gave them a surname, who gave them the right to at least use their surname to get the ID books. From my side, we have people using my grandfather's surname, but they are coloreds. Today, the generations that were born, they think their surname is Baloyi. So you might think that that is your surname, but if you can do research again, you might realize that surnames were just a system for us to be identified or to pay tax. They had nothing to do, even in South Africa or in Africa. The system of surname came with the colonizers because they wanted to tax us. There were no surname until colony. We didn't have surname until colony. So this is history. Go and do a research. You will find out that what I'm talking about is true. This is Apostle Sipho Baloyi. God bless you.